So these past few weeks have created much uncertainty and fear across the globe. I mean, this coronavirus has made its way to the UK, and there are measures that are slowly being taken to prevent further spread of this. Now, some of these measures may result in gyms shutting down, fight day being postponed, possible self-isolation. And for white-collar fighters, with less than 2 weeks to go until fight day, I guess this couldn't come at a worse time. However, on a more positive and encouraging note, the meditation techniques we've been learning together don't only apply to fight preparation, but also to dealing with negative thoughts and stressful situations in general. So whether you're stuck at work or working from home or struggling to sell tickets for your fight, unsure if this is going to go ahead, worried about catching the virus, or even if you're infected yourself, here's a meditation we can all use. I'm also doing online one-to-one classes for those that have a strong desire to make fast progress, and details for this are in the description. So sit comfortably on a chair or on the floor. You can keep your eyes open, but I would highly recommend closing them. And we're going to begin, as always, by taking in 5 deep breaths. A great way to maintain your focus is to keep your back straight. Mindfulness helps to boost the immune system, and those with a strong immune system stand a far better chance of overcoming the coronavirus or any colds and flus in general. And if you're to take anything away from today, let it be that. Links to this science in the description. Breathe in. Fill your lungs with air all the way to the bottom. Pay attention to the feeling in your lungs. And when you breathe out, do this with the intention to completely empty all the air from your lungs. Again, notice the feeling as the air makes its way up from your lungs and out of your body. Now bringing your breath back to its normal pattern, no faster or slower. Follow my voice as we continue to focus on our breathing, as it goes in and as it goes out. Focusing on the physical sensations. Wherever this feels strongest for you, notice a tingling feeling, any muscle contractions, as we're already feeling more relaxed. Simply notice without the need to attach. For me, I usually feel it strongest at the base of my stomach, in the diaphragm, in its rise and fall. Where do you notice it? In the whole cycle of the breath. Again, bringing attention to the flow of the breath. Notice how the stomach works with you as you breathe in and out. Follow the full path of the breath. Through the nostrils, into the back of the throat. Feeling your lungs expand and rise. Notice the pause in between the breath. Have you ever tried to pay attention to this before? Notice any feelings that arise. If thoughts come in, simply refocus on the breath. Bring attention to the top of your head. Notice sensations you feel at the top. I'm not trying to change the body in any way, but just becoming aware. Feel the forehead and cheeks relax as you pay them attention. You may even begin to sense your own heartbeat. As you continue to notice the rise and fall of each breath. So keep attention on the breath, as this is the foundation of the meditation, and we always want to revert back to the anchor of breathing. Okay, so our technique today is going to be the mental push-up. And this is part 1. As soon as you notice that you're daydreaming, or you're lost in thought, or any type of thinking, this is the first part of the mental push-up. It may sound trite, but being able to observe thoughts is a skill that needs to be trained and nurtured. If not, we become the passengers to our thoughts. Okay, and the second part of the push-up, and this really is where the gold is, the good stuff, is to bring our attention back to the anchor of our breathing, to following the sensations of the breath. Again, as you breathe in, where do you feel the sensation the strongest? The nasal passage as the air rushes in, or at the top of your nose? Is it the feeling of cool air in the back of your throat? Can you feel it in the expansion of the lungs as it fills with oxygen? Breathing in and breathing out. Let's go into a few examples of this mental push-up. Let's say a thought pops in about the coronavirus, and perhaps it's something you saw on Facebook or on social media. As that thought pops in, we want to notice it without judgment, but we want to see it there. In part 2 of the push-up, once we notice it with kindness, gently bring our attention back to our breathing. In and out. You have a worrying thought about trying to sell tickets for your show. Notice this thought for what it is. Take a breath and back to the meditation. What if the flight's cancelled? Pops into your mind. Now, all that matters is this exercise. So we back to the breath. Noticing how our stomach and diaphragm work as we're breathing in and breathing out. I don't feel like training today. As soon as you notice this thought, the second part of the push-up is to bring this awareness back to the breath. Don't give thoughts the power of sustained attention that they're used to. Guys, I really want you to be diligent with these short few minutes. Give it your full concentration and bring the discipline levels to the maximum. Breathing in, breathing out. That's where all of our energy should be focused on right now. You're on the tube and you have a thought about catching the virus. As soon as you notice that negative thought, instead of letting additional thoughts compound it, we can simply turn our attention back to the breath, back to breathing. We want to nip that thought in the bud. We rinse and repeat over and over again, and we're practicing now. The thought arises, we bring it back to the breath. Another thought arises, we bring it back to the breath. And we train this now so that later throughout the day or in the evening or when we lay our heads down at night and an unpleasant thought pops up, instead of trying to live with it, we now have a tool where we just bring it back to the breath. That negative thought may again arise in a few minutes or immediately after, which is our trigger, it's our cue to bring that attention back to the breath. Remember, meditation isn't chilling out and relaxing. It's a concentration exercise. It's an attention and an awareness building exercise. And if you're serious in taking this further, what you really need to develop is a daily practice, even if it's 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, where we repeat this exercise of returning attention to the breath. Think of it, if you will, as a wax on, wax off, a Karate Kid analogy. We rinse and we repeat. We do the exercises over and over again so that throughout the day, when we're in situations that are uncomfortable, out of comfort zones, when negative thoughts arise, instead of being defenseless, we have a tool that we can use in those moments. And the good thing is, the more that we use those tools, the stronger they become, the easier it is for us to use them, to draw from them. And as that muscle strengthens, really cool things start to happen physically in the body and also mentally. So in these tough times, please know that there are these techniques that we can use. We can't cure the disease, but we can learn to cope with it. We want to make sure that we're mentally prepared for whatever situations arise. I'm Guy with the White Collar Process. Thank you for listening.